What's up, my friends at Film Fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching? Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. You know, with two guys like this as part of the crew, regular members, there really is no time of the year where the scary stuff isn't always right there near the forefront. Especially tech. So, you know, we make jokes all the time, but we are 100% literal when you say he doesn't love any movie that doesn't have boobs and murder in it. And then Jeremy, who of course is now the star of the newest commercial for the Lewisburg Haunted Cave. I'll have to start putting the link to the Haunted Cave in the description. But yeah, I'll definitely get that up there to show you guys. But you know, why not start early and make kind of a not a midway video, but kind of a 2/3 of the way video of the year about horror movies in 2024, what we've gotten so far, and of course what's coming, because as we're getting into the fall, that's when they're going to start dropping a lot more horror movies. Everything is turning from red, white, and blue for the summer to the fall colors, the dark, the orange and black. So that's where everything's headed now. So let's dive right into it. And like I said, what two guys can I have around better to have this conversation with than my hetero life mate Jeremy? What's up, brother?
I think you mean in the words of Marilyn Manson, we're going from red, white, and blue to red and black and slimy green. So the weather's getting kind of crispy, and I'm like, ooh, it's getting chilly out in the morning. It's getting to be that time. The leaves start changing colors, they start falling, and I start dropping chainsaws on people. So it's the best time of the year, as they say.
Yes. And Jeremy even gets a close up in this commercial. It's he's definitely looking kind of hot, kind of devilish. You know what
I mean? I mean, obviously, I wasn't gonna, I wasn't really gonna say anything, and I'm always like, I don't want people finding where I work, and I'm like, we had a guy last year come all the way from, I don't know why he came here. I always wondered that. Why do you come here? But came all the way from like Australia to come through our cave, and I'm like, that blows my mind. I mean, so there's not really anywhere too far or really too near to come check it out. So yeah, it's a cool commercial. It's pretty fire. I think I watched it a few times, not because I'm vain, but I mean, I do play the devil, so I got kicked out of heaven for being too pretty. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah.
And of course, when the Shake the Lone Star State, my man Tex, and Tex, Casey's already at the chat. I mean,
no, I even asked Casey if he had an in memoriam plan for me, and he said no. I was just going to have everybody shit on you. So Casey can blow me as far as I'm concerned.
The shape return.
But no, I was gonna, hey, evil never dies. Dr. Loomis told you this in the 70s. Have you learned nothing? But I was gonna say, Jeremy, where do you find this cool in the air? Because it was like 107 today. Can you mail some of it down here? Because we could use.
Yeah, I'll try to push that down your way. I'm like, that's up here.
Just like blow. Just go like kind of southwest a little and blow real hard to see if maybe wind will carry or something.
You know what? I'll even let you have some of the snow in the winter. I mean,
no, we're good. We're square. You can keep that part. But yeah, happy to.
Flakes drop and they start freaking out.
I can now say I'm friends with a celebrity who gets to play Satan, so that'll be fun for me. So
I tried to.
I'm sure they'll get me a free drink at the bar or something. You never know, so we'll see. But yeah, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, let's get right down to it. We've gotten plenty of movies already this year that have come out. Some that have really dazzled. Some maybe not so much, but I mean, there's definitely, like I said, I've been talking for a long time now that horror is going through a big resurgence, and a lot of it's coming out and it's looking as good as it looked in the 80s and into the 90s before it hit kind of like the dark times where they kind of made everything a little bit goofy, a little too teenagery for me. But Tex, there's plenty of movies that have come out over the course of the last 8 months or so from the horror genre that have done very, very well. Some of them, I mean, Quiet Place Day One, I thought was very good. Maxine. Longlegs has gotten some mixed reviews. Strangers has gotten some. Abigail, I almost sat and watched it last night. I wish I would have, but I ended up watching something else. Late Night with the Devil, what you see on your screen, is the one that has really blown people away.
Oh my God, I love this movie.
Cuckoo has come out. It's kind of gotten a lot of good buzz. Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
We're going to get to reviewing it at some point, but I mean that's out in theaters now. We of course have another one coming up that we'll talk about later. But I mean, those are the ones that have come out so far. I don't know. I'll go to you first, Tex. I mean, so far, which one of these movies, or maybe one that has kind of slipped under the radar, do you think has really blown you away from the horror genre so far this year?
Well, I'll tell you my favorite one and the one that surprised me the most. And it's been a good year for horror, and not just studio horror. We really haven't had a lot of, besides like Alien, we haven't had a lot of franchise stuff come out. So we've had a bunch of indie horror, which I like to see. We had Maxine, which is technically the third in a trilogy, but I still count that as an independent. We've had, I mean, as you just showed, Late Night with the Devil. Oh my God. The most original film of the year. I love the concept, the 70s talk show, Johnny Carson, kind of feel to it. That was so great. But my favorite so far would have been Maxine. I love the 80s slasher sleazy horror. I like nudity for no reason and graphic violence. That's what gets me to the movie theater. And Maxine has all of those things. And, they play with, it's kind of Texas Chainsaw the way that they do it. I love this movie so much. I hate that Maxine didn't get talked about enough because unfortunately for Maxine, Longlegs came out like 2 weeks after it and took all of its steam. Like nobody even remembered that movie anymore. So unfortunately for Ty West, timing was not in his favor. But Maxine did not get enough praise. That's been, besides Deadpool and Wolverine, it's my favorite movie of the year. Obviously, there's some big hitters coming up, but the one that I can't go talking about film this year so far without talking so far kill of the year in a violent nature where the killer literally puts a woman inside of herself with a hook and just sheer strength. My God, it was a beautiful thing the way that they did it. Just the gratuitous violence and the practical effects. God bless you, sir, whoever did that. So, yeah, that's kind of where I stand so far with as of where we are horror. So, it's all good.
I don't know, Jay, how about you? I mean, a couple of these things I know we've seen. You probably had more of a chance to go see some of this stuff over the course of the summer than I have. But I mean, what of the movies that has been released so far has really jumped out to you?
I was gonna say, first of all, it's right there in writing. My mom said she'll buy Tex a drink if he comes to see me. So, I think at this point he's earned it. So, we'll have our own Late Night with the Devil. Trust me.
As long as
2 in the morning.
As long as you can sneak me in. As long as you can sneak me in as one of your chainsaw wielding maniacs in your haunt, that's all I ask. So I'll be fine.
You just come in the back way and we'll just drive in.
I'll just act like I belong. I mean, it's not they're going to question the crazy guy with the chainsaw or anything.
You know what's funny? There's a guy that does work there with me, and he does this same joke every time, and it makes me laugh when people are like, "How do I get out of here?" And he goes, "I don't know, ma'am. I don't even work here." Like he just straight faces tells me, "I don't work here." It's the funniest. See, that would make that actually funny.
I'd be like, nobody ever has.
Right, yeah. Full devil gear, and he's like, "I don't even work here." Like, God damn it, man. We have fun. We have fun there. I would. What'd you say? What, like one that I thought I liked the best so far? Or?
Yeah, which one has jumped out to you the most of all the horror stuff that we've gotten so far this year?
I don't even want to say. Well, I know there's ones that I'd take you guys' word for it. Like I've been meaning to see Late Night with the Devil because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Dude,
Long Legs,
incredible.
Long Legs, because I mean, I didn't know anything about it. I just kept seeing, oh, this is a horror movie. I thought, oh, okay. And then someone told me Nick Cage. I'm like, okay, say less. I'm gonna.
You're like, okay,
here's my
money. Here's my money.
You don't have to tell me any more than that. No, that was last year. I'm trying to remember. Like, I know I'm gonna think of one later, but. And I guess we're going to keep spoilers out of it. I did just go see Alien Romulus. And honestly, it kind of went back to roots of like the original movie, which was more horror driven. Suspense. So I appreciated that because I'm like, that felt. The thing is, we watched the original Alien the night before, and then last night actually went to go see Romulus, and seeing them back to back like that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. That's in line with it because if you've seen any other movies, the Alien movies went a place is all I can really say.
And this
for
one,
better for worse.
Alien Romulus actually takes place between the first and second film, doesn't it? I think I've read that somewhere.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It takes 20 years after the first movie, which
I won't spoil how because I know you haven't seen it, but well, I considering they spoil it like within the first scene. They spoil it within the first scene of the movie. Like, oh, here's how the connection is. Okay, fine. But yeah,
there's a pretty big Easter egg right in the beginning of the movie. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to miss. It's literally like throwing a gigantic stone in the water. You can't miss it. So.
Well, because like 2 and 3, it's like, 1 and 2 is like I don't know how many years apart, decades actually, timeline wise.
Right.
But this one, it's 20 years after the first movie.
Well,
which is fine, and it fits in there. It had its own story. There are things that take me out of it in a way that's like, if you're gonna repurpose the same iconic one-liner from
"Get off of her, you bitch,"
you don't get to reuse "Get away from her, you bitch." I'm like, it doesn't hold the same.
No, but see, here's the thing.
It just takes
at least use it. Don't pose it as a question like they do in that movie. That's the one main thing that bothered me.
Well, as we know, I had to keep reminding myself, oh yeah, there are androids in this world, and I'm like, well,
right,
the android who I don't think quite understands how humans work with their emotions.
Right.
So, whatever. Minor things took me out of it. Honestly, I thought I say new, but it was kind of a prequel. Pulse rifle was fucking cool, and I want one. I want one of those.
Dude, no kidding. 450 rounds out of that thing? Are you kidding me? Jesus
That's where
Christ.
he went. I was like, the motherfucker auto.
Right.
Are you kidding me? That thing is
right.
Awesome. And it still has that.
You just point in the general direction. Stormtroopers will be dying to have this thing in Star Wars. Are you kidding me? Like, that solves that whole AIM issue ever again. God.
You
need to hurry up and see Alien so we can talk about it because it was a pretty fun movie.
I know, like I said, I don't want to ruin anything. It was a good movie, and I honestly liked it because
I'm trying real hard not to spoil this thing and just go full blown talk about Alien for 2 hours.
I'm probably going to go do like a Crow Aliens double feature this weekend at some point.
Well, see Alien after, so you walk away happy. I'll say that.
It was good. Like I said, it felt like it definitely would have followed in line right after. If you watched them in chronological order, you could definitely have watched Alien and then watched Romulus right after, and then gone to 2 because as we know, 2 is obviously a very good sequel.
Even the technology feels like it's in the same movies.
Like I said, the stats. Oh, and that's when he said practical effects. I'm like, no, they went practical effects and like lower budget and made this thing look amazing. And like I said, it looked like you walked right onto the set from the 70s movie. And the technology,
everything looked amazing. Everything looked amazing except for one creature that happens I want to talk about. But,
okay. Wait, I was talking about two different creatures. Maybe one of which being a little more human than the other. Where I was like,
that's the one I'm talking about. I'm like, I have questions. Like, what is this thing? But okay, sure, whatever.
Good movie though.
Yeah,
go see it.
Again, I have not had a whole lot of chance to go see some of the movies this summer, especially the horror films. I will say, we did review A Quiet Place Day 1. I thought that was a fantastic movie. I love the acting. I could have stood for it to be a little bit more horror, but I mean, we've already kind of been in this world twice now, so there's only so many ways that one of these aliens can kill a person we haven't seen yet. And so this movie kind of did serve its purpose. Late Night with the Devil is one that I'm way behind the times in this one. I've been wanting to watch it for a long time now. I've heard nobody say.
I will give you my Shutter password so you can watch this. It is that good. You will love it.
I have not seen a single person that's seen that movie and said that it wasn't good. They're all just like, "Wow, this movie is something else." That
was great.
Ballpark good. I have not heard good things about Long Legs, which is disappointing to me. Now,
really?
Again, I'm like Jeremy.
Long Legs was good.
You just know that Nicolas Cage is in it, and I'm like, okay, here's my money. Take my money.
Right.
I'm going to see it because even the bad movies that he's in, Nicolas Cage is wildly entertaining. So I'll pay just to see Nicolas Cage be Nicolas Cage. But I do still want to see it because he's been on a very subtle hot streak the last couple of years. He's been going through a bit of a career renaissance. He's had some good movies come out. Willy's Wonderland we talked about a while back.
He's
a couple of years old, but I mean he's getting himself back out there. People realize what a good actor he is. One movie that did kind of I don't want to say it disappointed me, but I wanted it to be a little bit as good as the original was Food, Blood, and Honey. Ultimately, it was a fun movie. I don't have any big problems with it, but I don't like the fact that they kept it as campy as the first one was. It's like this time they tried to go a little. They tried to make him more of a monster, and I'm like, no, I really like the idea of him looking like a goofy guy in a suit from Disneyland that just decided to go crazy one day and start killing people. That looked better. Giving him the fur and all that in this one, I'm like, now he looks a little silly. Not that this movie's meant to be great artistry and oratory anyway, but I mean, it's like it doesn't fit with everything that I loved about the first movie. Still wildly entertaining. I still very much enjoyed it. A couple of fantastic kills, but
they skipped on the nudity on that though, especially at the end. I wasn't happy about that part. We needed more nudity there.
No. You know what I can't get over is he looks too much like the damn bear from The Shining. So I'm like, what the hell are we?
Maybe that's what we're going for, like a little psychic wink.
You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong.
And they all but winked at her when she came out, when Wendy came up the stairs, and they just look at her like she's the one intruding or something. Like, what?
Like there's a bear giving a guy a blowjob. That's normal. That happens.
But yeah, what's you gonna do in the hotel when it snows in?
But one that like I said, I should have watched this the other night when I was thinking about it. One that I have really high expectations for that I wanted to watch for a long time is Abigail. I mean, it starts out like a crime movie, like this girl for ransom. Oh, surprise! She's actually a vampire, and you were set up to go there so you could be her food. And there's something a little more terrifying yet wildly entertaining about watching a kid just murder people. It's like,
wait. Speaking of that, didn't Megan come out this year too?
That was last year. That was
last year.
Yeah, that was last year. I think
damn, how far behind?
Early last year, I think.
How far behind am I? Hold
on. I know a lot of people like Megan. I didn't dig it. Abigail was fun. It was.
Oh fuck!
It was like one of the.
Jesus, I'm far behind. I'm sorry.
Abigail kind of reminded me of one of those classic, or not classic, but like one of those like Vincent Price movies where the whole thing takes place in a mansion because that's their only shooting location that they have. So it kind of had that feel to it, but it was pretty good. I dug it. It was fun for what it was.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Abigail and Late Night with the Devil. And like I said, I've heard nobody say anything bad about that movie. If it's really hitting with fans like that, then it's got to be something good. But go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the movies that have already come out at this point. Here we are, end of August. Let me know which one has actually done very well for you. Let me ask you guys real quick this before we move on to what's coming, though. I'll start with you, Tex. Has there been a movie that's come out that's really disappointed you? One that you had high hopes for, and it really kind of fell flat?
Yeah, this is a mixed bag for me because this film I both loved and hated at the same time, and that's In a Violent Nature. It's, for the ones that don't know, it's basically, if you've ever played a third-person video game where you're following behind your character, that's the whole perspective of this movie, where you're basically following a Jason-like slasher killer. And it was a great concept. I think it worked about 60% of the time. The movie was great, had amazing kills, but the ending of the movie almost puts you to sleep because it's 15 minutes of dialogue between one of the victims and the person that picks her up along the road. You don't see the killer again. And it was, I wanted to walk out and leave before it was over. People were like in the theater going, really? This is how you end this thing? Like, I mean, they were verbal about this. So I love the concept. We're getting the End of Violent Nature too. I'm hoping they tighten a few things up. But that really disappointed me. And the other one that disappointed me that I finished but barely was Cuckoo. This thing looked creepy from the trailers. I didn't know what to expect. And Cuckoo sucks. Like, it's not even really a horror film. It's like kind of a monster movie, but it's not. I don't even know how to explain it. It bored me to death. I went to see it on my birthday weekend. I hated the movie. So yeah, definitely worst horror film this year is Cuckoo. There's no arguments.
That's kind of disappointing to hear about Cuckoo. I mean, I've heard some mixed reviews on it, but it's got Dan Stevens in it, who I love from Downton Abbey because I'm that kind of a weirdo. But it does look like it's kind of a wild, not quite independent, but it's just kind of.
Cuckoo is like an art house. It's like a art house. It's like a European art house lesbian horror film. If I had to describe genre, what it was. Very weird, very odd. I did not like the movie, but to each their own, I guess.
I don't know, Jay. How about you? Was there a movie that came out, a horror film, that it just didn't quite meet your expectations? It kind of disappointed you.
I'm trying to flip through some here for 2024, and I'm not really seeing any that I even heard of, let alone watched. But I guess where most of my disappointment sits is probably just Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, because it just needs to fuck off into a hole somewhere and never come
Oh,
out.
ye of little faith. Jesus wept. I will not have this disparaging language. This is horrible.
See, I love when people tell me stuff like that. I'm like, you were telling absolutely the wrong kind of person about blasphemy and shit like that. Because I'm like, that's cute.
He is literally the devil.
I love when people tell me that. You're going to hell. Okay. Good talking to you.
I'm going to hell on a scholarship. I'm going first ballot, buddy. I got news for you.
I'll save you a seat. Whoever gets there first, we'll make a race out of it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of any. I'm looking through here, which is hilarious. They have horror adaptations, and they have Fallout, the first season of Fallout listed. I'm like, what? When was? Okay. To be fair, Fallout can be kind of a horror game at times. To be fair, there is in 4 straight up a serial killer that called the Pikmin, and you come across Pikmin's gallery where all the artwork and crap layered in this guy's place is all with like the blood from all of his victims and shit. It's kind of creepy, and you kind of like figure out like what happened and who he was and all this shit, and it's kind of horrifying. Or if you've played Fallout 3 and you've ever gone into the subway, you know what horror is. I'm telling you right now. So I see kind of why it's there, but I don't know. That's not a disappointment. I'm just kind of shocked. I see this one of Russell Crowe called The Exorcism. I thought it was that movie he did, which was apparently last year, where he did,
He's doing 2 Exorcist movies. He's doing 2 different ones.
Yeah, like I don't know why Russell Crowe's on an exorcism kick, but that threw me.
He did the Pope's Exorcist, which is getting a sequel, and then he's doing a new exorcism movie where he plays an actor who's playing in a movie, so it's kind of meta, and they have to do an exorcism within the set because he, like, I don't know, very convoluted. But yeah, apparently he's on
playing the other priest.
Yeah, he's the guy playing another guy trying to get rid of the devil. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
well, they did make that movie with John Malkovich years ago about making Nosferatu. Maybe it's going to be that movie.
Maybe
I don't know.
The making of the priest exorcist, the Pope's exorcist.
What is that?
For me, again, not necessarily disappointed, but I mean, not at all the movies I wanted was Pooh, Blood and Honey. I mean, there was a certain low budget magic. Now, they didn't. Well, I mean, look, I'm not
I didn't even see it, so.
I'm not saying it was bad, but I mean, after the first one, which was, I mean, like I said, I've said it 100 times, horror lends itself to low budget. Low budget horror is some of the best horror you can make. Yeah. And that's kind of what the first one was to me. It's like you don't have a whole lot of money, so you're basically just getting a head, a Winnie the Pooh head, putting on this large man wearing some overalls and calling him Winnie the Pooh. And there was a certain magic in the way that he was killing people with that smile on his face. But when you actually drastically change the effects from one movie to the next, you lose a lot of that magic, and it wasn't a change for the better for me. Giving him all the fur and giving him like the growl and all that, it's like, I don't really. It lost a little something for me. I'm kind of hoping that they go back toward visually. They go back towards what they had him look like in the first movie. I mean, letting him have a couple lines of dialogue, I was like, okay, I'm kind of with it. I mean, and of course, at the very end, you finally get to hear him say, "Oh bother," which was perfectly timed. But I mean, have some fun with it. I mean, don't change too much of what worked about the first movie. And the visual of him and what he is as a being was kind of one of the things that worked so well about the first movie. And changing it so drastically from one movie to the next, it did kind of bum me out a little bit. Now, the kills were still good, and there's still him trying to kill Christopher Robin and the whole town or whatever. It pushes the story along pretty well, but I mean, visually, it just didn't really hit me the way that the first one did. And while I enjoyed the movie overall, I kind of left there like, it could have been better. It could have been better. But like I said, they're
Frank walked out and really just said, "Oh bother."
I said, "Oh bother." But I've already got the title right there in my headline for the next one.
I'm driving to Ohio.
So as long as we do that, it's going to be okay.
I'm driving to Ohio. I'm going to get a pig mask, get a black robe. I'm going to inject y'all with poison, duct tape you to a chair. When you wake up, I'm going to make both of you watch Blue Blood and Honey 1 and 2 over and over until y'all love those movies as much as I do.
You don't have to tie me down. It'd be like double feature. I'll be like, all right, where's the beer and pizza? Well, it's not that I didn't like the movie.
Okay.
It's just it didn't quite hit me the way
Jeremy's getting jigsawed until he loves these movies. This is what I'm saying. It's going to happen.
I know where to hide where you ain't going to find me.
Hey.
You're in Ohio amongst the corn. I was born in the corn. Okay?
Do you want to play a game, Jeremy? Because I'm more than happy to fulfill. Just saying. So you will love these
movies. Out of the corn, you're not going to find me. I'm telling you.
All
them cornfields start looking the same.
It's all fun and games. That little dude rides in on a fucking tricycle, and everything's going to hell. But now let's get into some of the movies that are still coming, and there is a long list of movies that are coming out this year. This is where I want to kind of throw it to you guys, let you drive it. I'll start with you first, Tex. We've already talked a little bit amongst ourselves about some of the movies coming out. What is one of the movies that's still coming out here over the course of the next couple of months that you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, the first one I want to start with is, hey,
I'll bring a fucking list.
Horror enthusiast is a title you earn. It's not given, sir. Okay, homework is required. I feel like I'm doing that.
In all fairness, he makes notes like this for almost every stream we do, so it's not like a new thing.
No,
but
yes, I do.
Where as soon as I said, let's talk a horror movie, he was like,
hey, I can't help myself. It's just, I like doing the homework. But, my first one is actually, I've got two that come out this weekend that I'm going to do back to back, but I'll start with the first one. This one, it's kind of a independent. I don't know who made it. It's a very small film. I don't even think it's got a full wide release. I know this one is in AMC's, and it's the only place I found it, and they get minimal streams. But the movie is called Stream. It comes out this weekend. A ton of horror legends in this. We've got Danielle Harris. We've got Jeffrey Combs from the Reanimator franchise. Tony Todd, Candyman, is here. Dee Wallace. Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp, Daniel Roebuck from all of the Rob Zombie films, and the main guy, we get Art the Clown himself, David Howard motherfucking Thornton is in this movie, by God. So, if you don't have anything to do, Google it right now. Find Stream if it's local to you. Like I said, check it at AMC Cineplex. It's part of their Thrills and Chills or whatever they call it. It's kind of a low budget slasher. It's like a family that goes on a vacation, and it looks like Jeffrey Combs. He's kind of the jigsaw of the place, and he kind of sets these killers loose on this family or something. Not real sure. I've only seen the trailer like twice, but Stream looks interesting. So I'm always down for a low budget horror film. So this is right up my alley.
Yeah, I noticed another name on the cast list that you didn't mention that me and Jeremy get giddy about whenever you say it. That's Tim Curry.
See, I didn't realize he was in it. I did not even realize he was in it until like yesterday. Like I just noticed that like yesterday. Somebody posted that.
Yeah.
Or it may have been today. It's within the last 24 hours when I saw it. But yeah, Tim Curry, he voices somebody in it. I'm not sure who he voices, but a ton of horror icons in this film. So I'm always going to go support my horror icons. So keep them in business, man.
Yeah. Like I said, Tim Curry. I mean, I was reading the cast list when you had mentioned that one to me, I was just like, "What is this about?" So I started to look it up a little bit to read about it. And I was looking at the cast list on IMDb, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "How is this not?" I mean, just the names alone. How is this not getting a little bit more buzz?
Dude,
so I'm looking at it like I've got to see this movie, even if it sucks. It's loaded with legends.
This movie is being made by the producers of the Terrifier films, and the effects are being done by Damien Leone himself of Terrifier. So the practical kills are going to be nice and gory and cool. So I guess it just because it doesn't have it feels like generic slasher, I think is why it's not getting a lot of attention. But there's so much star potential and names behind this. I have to see this movie, so I'm going to go out of my way to find it. So.
Yeah, I'll go out of my way to find it too. I mean, like I said, the list of people on there, the actors, I was just like, Jesus. I mean, even if this movie's average, it's still going to be pretty wild. But I don't know,
right.
Jeremy, what do you think? What's one of the movies coming out here over the course of the next few months that you're really excited to see?
Well, since I don't want to steal Texas Thunder because I know the next hour of this he's going to talk about it, so I'll let him have Terrifier 3.
How much time do you have?
Get him started, he won't stop. No, I got you. I'll leave that one to you. That's I'm excited for it, but I'll let you have it. Oh, son of a bitch! I wrote my camera. Okay, well, I got cyber attacked already. I would say now I'm looking. But you know what? Between these two, I just saw when we were seeing Alien, I saw a trailer for one called Heretic with Hugh Grant. However, however, I think that's the first time I've seen it. Now I've seen now that I have, it kind of reminded me of that one. I almost just straight up called him John Wick. Jesus Christ, with Keanu Reeves, right?
Don't breathe.
No, the one like where the two girls like show up at his house, acting like they're fucking lost or something.
Oh, the one with it's Knock Knock. It's called Knock Knock.
Yeah. Except like it's kind of turned around. It's like I don't know, like it's Hugh Grant. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, dude's a great actor. As soon as these two girls knock on the door and they say, like, do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I'm like, oh God, here we go. Hold on. And then he just
have you heard the good news?
You're right. There we go. He just completely turns it on and then like makes it this whole like H.H. Holmes, like Winchester House, like maze trap thing. Where I mean, to be a gamer, I almost thought of like Stanley Parable, where it's like you have a left door and a right door. Like, which one do you choose? And it's like you feel like there's no right answer to this. He's going to put these girls through this trial of psychological and like religious horror. And I'm like, okay, this looks pretty fun. It's not exactly something new, but honestly, I was kind of drawn in by it. And I guess an easy given is also Smile 2, where I thought the first one had a potential. And I'm like, okay, if we're kind of doing, what's the word for it? In the same universe, right? Because it doesn't look like it has really any ties to the first one that I'm aware of. No, Smile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where the demon Jesus Christ, that right? If you can guess just from the shot, I mean, you can pretty well tell what she's about to do. But my God, what a way to open a movie! And
when they lay the sheet over her and that Joker blood smile comes through, I was like, oh my God, that needs to be the poster. Like, that needs to be on a freaking T-shirt. That's like an incredible image.
The thing with that is, what the problem with this was where, like, when I watched, what was that movie with Midsommar with Florence Pugh?
Midsommar, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, holy Jesus balls of Christ, that opening scene, and then it just kind of
that's a bore fest of a movie. I'm in the minority, but I did not like Midsommar. I was not a fan.
I didn't hate it. What I was disappointed by. I mean, yeah, I was like, oh my God, the guy did a flip off the cliff. Holy hell, and his head busted open. But I was just kind of like, okay, this is just like weird culty stuff. I'm like, okay, seen it before, I guess.
It was like
The problem is,
Wicker Man, but more woke. It's kind of what Midsommar
it was basically Swedish
Yeah.
Wicker Man. Now the problem is
Yeah.
like the beginning scene was like, oh my good God, the visual of that. If I'm not going to explain it, but if you want to see it for yourself. And then I was like, damn. And then the problem is it cuts off and it feels like it was a different movie. Like someone made a short horror film for the opening scene, then someone made the rest of the movie. So the problem with the first mile was that's what it felt like. I was like, holy shit, that opening scene with that picture that pictures had of the girl with the glass going right to her face. I was like, Jesus Christ, right into a title card. And then I think a movie happened for the next like hour and a half. I was like, okay, well, kind of fun. I hate that like some of these horror movies, it's like they have a really good opening, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, well, now what? I don't know. It had potential. So now with this being in a like I said, the same universe, at least is what it seems like. This curse with these. If you basically, it's like if you witness a murder, these like people just start smiling at you and they stare, and basically like you either have to get to kill somebody to like pass it on essentially. Yeah. So someone else has to witness a murder and you have to kill somebody to then pass it on to them. It's like a game of murder tag, which is interesting to think about now. But with this one being with this being it's like I love that they upped it to like, you know, instead of a lady who's a like a healthcare provider, this is like a woman who's a big like megastar, like singer, dancer, whatever. I'm like, oh, that'd be horrifying.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that concert. I wonder how much of that movie is going to take place at the concert, because that footage looks really good in the trailer. Like we've had two horror films that took place at a concert this year. This one, and then you had Trapped by M. Night Shyamalan on Ding Dong, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
and a lot of that takes place at the concert, but like the movie sucked. So I really hope we get a good concert horror film. I'm hoping for that with this one. So we'll see.
I know I try not to be an asshole just because I'm like, if you say Shyamalan, I'm like, nope, I'm out. You did one cool thing one fucking time in the 90s.
No, he was on a bit of a comeback for a while. I mean, give him some credit. He was kind of getting his swing back, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's like his shtick was his little twist at the end of the movie that's supposed to surprise you wasn't up to save it anymore. You know what I mean? Well,
the thing, like you did that really well, and I'm like, but the problem is, then you do it in every movie, and then no one cares about your movie because in the last 3 fucking seconds you're gonna change the whole damn thing that didn't matter. I'm like, okay. I don't know. Twists aren't a bad thing in movies, but I'm just like, that's all you expect out of his movie, so none of it really matters. I was getting there. My problem is when you absolutely destroy a children's film or movie. You make a movie out of a show that was successful. He ruined Avatar at The Last Airbender. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, in all fairness,
little kid me was excited. I was excited.
You couldn't call it Avatar, which is a big part of it, because that title had kind of already been taken by another big movie. But you know, not that movie was good or anything, but
not that Avatar. I'm just saying that one also can fucking
Blue Pocahontas.
Different. It can also fuck off to
Blue Fern Gully.
It's Blue Fern Gully. I don't like Shyamalan.
I find myself on a sidebar. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to tell you guys this yet, but I always try to. Obviously, I use social media to try to pimp the channel out. So I go on several places to do this. One of the places is True Social, and there's this asshat named Charlie Bigsby who, for some reason, has felt like he needed to troll me. Now, look, again, not movie related, but I'm going to tell you guys a little something about me. I can be a much bigger asshole than anybody else on this planet. It's like, and it's not even like that's just me saying that. It's like I've proven it more than once that I can ass out a lot of people. Now, so this asshat,
I've known you long enough.
For whatever reasons he's got, decided he wanted to try to come at me on True Social. I should just pull this up on my computer so I can look at it before, but whatever. But so it started out with me putting something on True Social about the Deadpool Wolverine review. just saying, hey, we're reviewing Deadpool Wolverine, come watch it. So this asshole decides to check in with, really, man, why are you on here promoting a gay superhero movie? Every scene had gayness in it. I could barely watch it. Are you a conservative or a liberal? Not that really matters for a movie review, in my opinion. So my response was the only response that I could give, and I actually just sent the guy the link to the show. I hope he pops in here and tries to pick the fucking chat, because I'll do this. So my response to that,
tells me to not do this.
In my true fashion, was, so you're not going to watch our review? ... question mark. Whatever. Because I'm like, in the end, look, this is some asshole who I'm never going to meet, who's never going to meet me. We're probably never going to be within 1,000 miles of each other. He answers with no, because there's nothing positive about saying this is a good movie and it has overtones of the devil. You obviously support gays and the devil. I wasn't really. Whatever.
Wait till he meets me.
Yeah. Whatever. And so I responded with, "You're funny."
I'd be happy to give him a good old Hail Satan if it makes him feel better. But I responded in the best way I knew how. I was just like, "You're funny. You should comment more," with the blowing kisses emoji, because I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this guy. I just don't care. So apparently he's not done with me yet. Let's see. What's the most recent?
Gotta go out and feed the trolls sometimes, you know.
Yeah, every now and again. I mean, look, this has all been entertaining.
They get hungry.
And so, let's see. Oh, no, yeah, he just said, "Now I heard you're voting for Kamala. I'm glad that you know who I'm voting for." But let's see.
Stretch before you pull something, buddy.
Yeah, really.
You don't want to pull a muscle, okay?
I actually said to him, it's like. Oh, hell, I didn't realize he had gone back more than this much. The over-gayification of Hollywood has gone too far with this new Wolverine and Deadpool shit. This movie was unbearable to watch. But apparently he bought a ticket to it because he watched it. So many scenes that didn't read gayness, saturating it, overrun with homosexuality. I'm done with Marvel. I'm like, I don't think this guy...
It sounds like he's got some things he needs to air out, because it seems to be on his mind quite a lot.
So I said,
buddy, this is a safe space and you can tell us.
So I said, can you name one scene with overt gayness? I'm just curious, because I don't really, with the exception of the stupid stuff that Ryan Reynolds says just to be funny, it's not like he was just like, "Hey, Wolverine, if I go down on you, will you come help me save my universe?" It wasn't anything like that. It's just stupid stuff. And so he said, "I guess you didn't watch the film, or maybe you were trying to get engagement points to help your algorithm." Well, yeah, like, that's fucking, like, I give a shit about that even. Just shut up. The whole movie had so many gay scenes. One question, which I won't answer, is Deadpool gay? I whatever. And so I put on there, I said, I actually watched it twice. My review is up if you'd like to hear our thoughts. Did you watch it? It seems odd that you would so heavily criticize if you haven't seen it. And he said, imagine trying to start a movie review blog on Truth Social. I didn't start on Truth Social. I just put the videos on here. I don't know what he's talking about. I told him, I said, I've actually gotten several followers from Truth Social. It suggests for a moment, imagine trolling a content creator on social media because you have no life. That's not dumb. It's hilarious. Keep posting, please. My friends and I are loving your responses. And he says, and today he started, we know a sheep in wolf's clothing here on Truth. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that he was such friends with Donald Trump and he was speaking on behalf of Truth Social. And so I just answered back. I said, have you been forgetting to take your meds again? It's like, and then he responds back with, are you AI? And I'm like, good God.
But are we?
Arguing online now.
If we were AI, would we know that we were AI?
To which, of course, I reply, not so much. I'm live right now if you want to come watch. And I put the link to the stream. And then, of course, he responds with, I heard you're voting for Komala, spelled Comala. So the guy can't spell apparently either. But whatever.
I'm surprised he didn't spell it. I'm surprised he didn't spell it with a cum.
Well,
if you happen across this video, fucking dickwad, whatever your name is, Charlie Bigsby, welcome. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like what we do. You're probably not going to, but I need you to know in terms as clear as vodka, I just don't fucking care. Hate watch me if you want. Bottom line is you're watching. You're hooking us up the algorithm.
You do it for the fans and the haters, because either way you're giving them content.
Look.
I'll put it to you.
Conservative, liberal. I just don't fucking care. Be a movie fan, like a movie, don't like a movie. As long as your reasons are thought out for the way you think, that's good. You're a thoughtful person. You have done research into a thing. You have developed an opinion about this thing. That's fine. This fucking asshat trying to troll me. Look, I don't fall for this stuff. For one, it doesn't. There's no winning. It's like I could get into a fight of some kind online with this asshole, and I could win. But what do I get out of it other than the fact that I just spent 50 more minutes on True Social? I just over the course of however much time, it just doesn't matter. So, dude, if you ever find your way to this channel, if you actually want to come here and engage in legitimate conversation about a movie, like it or don't like it, if you can give me a well thought out argument as to why you think the way you feel about a movie, then by all means, the chat room's open. I haven't
gave you a shout out. You're welcome.
I haven't kicked anybody out of the chat room in God knows how long. So I mean, look, if you want to come in and troll me, I'll have fun with you. I'll embarrass you on YouTube, and I will cut it up and I will put it on every social media, including True Social, and I will put it out there for all of your 4 followers to see when I tag you in it. But whatever. Have fun, dickhead Bixby, whatever the fuck your name is.
I'll put it to you this way: there's nobody more far right, especially on this show, than me. I mean, Frank and Jeremy can tell. I'm holding back 90.9% of the time of how I really feel on a lot of things, because half the words I say makes YouTube's ears turn into fire and they start blocking and shadow banning. As far as Deadpool, I don't like the gay stuff either. I've made no bones about that. No, I'm not a fan of it. But you know what? Go do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I love Deadpool Wolverine. I've got the popcorn bucket of Wolverine sitting on my shelf right now, and not the fleshlight one, but the mask one. But no, I love the film.
Not a real fan.
If you don't like a film, that's your right. God bless you. And I can promise you, I ain't voting for Kamala. I'm not one of these white dudes for Kamala, if you can't tell. So I got about it.
Can't believe that's a thing.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Have fun being you. I don't think anybody else is having fun with you. Have fun being you.
That's a philosophy I have. Like I said, when I do the acting, I'm like, I'm just kind of more of an asshole, but I'm also like, I don't know you and I don't really care. I see thousands of people every damn weekend. So I'm like,
why start fights on the internet with people you don't know? Somebody explain that to me. That's never made sense whatsoever.
Some people are just bored. They want attention. It's, they live off the, right. If you feed, like I said, if you feed them, they're like fucking cats. You feed it, it's going to keep coming back. So starve them.
Yeah,
or give them something. I don't care.
Dude, go find yourself a woman, a man that you can connect with. It's like,
sit down and watch Deadpool and Wolverine together.
Pay somebody $20 to play with your balls. It's gonna do you one.
Can they play just Wolverine style?
It's gonna change your life, man. Give somebody $20 to play with your balls. It's gonna change your life. Seriously, as soon as that interaction is done, you'll be like, why was I going after that guy on True Social?
That's a hell of a price. $20 now. Play with your balls to completion, or just tickle them a little bit. Like what are we negotiating here?
I'm willing to bet nobody.
Well, you might get you a cup, but like I don't know about that. Like a little bit of a.
Well, inflation. Inflation. That's why you don't vote for Kamala. Comala. Don't vote for Kamala because whatever. Anyway,
no, it's okay. It's okay. Remember Biden beat Medicare or something.
Yeah, he beat Medicare. But anyway, I'll go back to you now, Tex. Now that I've gone way off the rails, I'm going to have to cut that later. But now that I've taken
for something completely different.
Now that I've gone off my squirrel moment, Tex, give me another movie that's coming up this year that you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, once again, there's another one that's coming out this weekend. I know little about this movie, and I'm intentionally keeping it that way because I've seen a couple of people that I trust that talk about movies that have seen it and say they loved it and go into this thing as blindly as possible. It's called Strange Darling. It's out this weekend. It's a wide release in all theaters. Stars Carl Gallner. He's been in everything from the Scream 5 to just a ton of movies. He was the Flash on Smallville back in the CW show. I mean, he's been around forever. He's one of those faces. You just know him when you see him. Basically, the plot of this movie, a one-night stand turns into a serial killer spree, and there's a lot of twists and turns along the way. That's all I know, and that's all I need to know. It sounds interesting. I like supporting independent new horror. And this sounds like a fun ride, so I'm going to be checking this one out this weekend.
Yeah, so I did not have a chance to look this one up too much, but I am kind of just the poster alone has got me a little, wanting to look at it. Is this kind of like The Hunt?
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
The what?
I've seen The Hunt. I don't know if this one's political or not, but
Oh, that one, yeah.
from what I saw, basically, it looks like Cal Gallner is. There's a scene where he's got like a long rifle and he's aiming at somebody. So I'm not really sure if he's the killer or what. Like I said, I know little to nothing about this movie because I've been told to keep it that way. So just go watch the trailer if it looks interesting to you. From the sources that I've seen from the guys at Film Threat and just people like that, they seem to be praising this thing a lot, and it looks it looks like a fun one. So I've heard there's a lot of twists and turns. I'm sure the spoilers are out there if you want them, but I'm going to go in blind on this one and just trust my sources here.
I could give it a watch. I mean, like I said, just the poster alone looked really interesting. Hi, Cora.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cora.
We're getting into that. We're getting to that point of the year where Cora might be really, really scared.
Her favorite time of year,
the way we do. but yeah, I mean, one of these days I'm going to find a good, authentic horror movie that Cora maybe is going to want to sit and watch, and like she may actually enjoy it. It's going to be a bit of a struggle.
We need to do a terror.
I'm going to have to find a movie.
We need to do a Terrifier marathon and go from The Night Circle all the way to Terrifier 3 and do everything and make her watch it.
Oh God, no.
But yeah, she said she's hopefully going to be back on soon. She's fixing her PC and she's trying to get some programs back on it. But yeah, she also made it very clear about that.
Nice.
She also made it very clear that she is not interested. I mean, why not just go full on Human Centipede? I mean,
hey,
we can do that.
Ooh.
1, 2, and 3.
I'm down.
1, 2, and 3.
No, I'm not even gonna because if I say it, I'm gonna be on a fucking list. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
We could. Okay, if we're gonna make Cora watch a horror film, how about something international, something with some European flavor? A Serbian film. It's a classy family film. Everybody should watch it. Just throw it.
That's what I was talking about. I'm not going to say it because I want to put a list.
Yeah, Tex knows
about
Tex
doesn't
see
care,
what Screen will say.
Well, just throw it out there. Just hey, how did you learn to swim? Your old man just chunked you in the deep end and said swim back, right? This is what we're doing with her. It'll be fun. She'll figure it out. So it'll be good.
I don't know, Jeremy, your turn. Give me a movie that's coming up here over the course of the next couple of months that you're really excited for the horror genre.
Yeah, I didn't mean the double feature there with Heretic and Smile too, but I'm excited for those. I just saw it. Where the hell was it? Oh, again, I'm leaving the best for last. I'm leaving Terrifier 3 for last. But another big one that I'm sure we're all excited as much as I am. I'm so excited for Nosferatu. Honestly.
Yes.
Dude, 100 plus years now. We're at the point now. It was 1923, I think, is when this came out originally. And
something like that.
I mean, I like to be, poetic and stuff, and I thought it was going to come out like fall of last year. I'm like, dude, right on the 100-year anniversary, like, let's go. But you know what? I don't care. I'll take it because this is a movie that's, I mean, for the last 100 years, man. There's not just the silent versions where there's about 20 different ones because they've been they've either been colorized, which is actually really interesting to watch since I've seen it in black and white. There's other scores that people have done to it, which is if it was never an argument that you understood of how much a score gives to a movie and how much it will change it if you have something different. If you don't mind watching the movie again, I mean, it's a silent film, but however, if you watch it with different scores, like it's weird. It gives you a lot different feeling. And even recently I saw they had Nosferatu in color. But I also recently watched Night of the Living Dead in color, and I'm like, holy, that's just weird. That's a different movie altogether. It's the same movie I've seen, but it's in color, and I'm like, wow, okay. They kept the TV scenes in black and white, which is hilarious, by the way. That was actually funny because that's still period accurate. But no, yeah, I'm excited for Nosferatu because it's if there's any other reason that we're still here 100 years later talking about this movie because it's iconic. Like 3 days ago, I saw a fucking candle holder that has like an extension like on the end, and it has a little mini Nosferatu doing the iconic, up the stairs. Like it like projects it onto your wall. I'm like, how cool is that? I would want it. I need a blank wall big enough, and I'll put it on the table. That'll be a conversation piece.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Look at the cast that's in that movie: from Bill Skarsgård, William Dafoe, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I mean, they've got a ton of star power in this movie. Like the trailer looks incredible. It looks like Tim. It looks like if Tim Burton were a better visual film guy, this is what he would do something, but on a creepier, more adult scale.
Right up his
what
alley.
the trailer looks like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I know I don't want to say that about movies, but I'm like, I don't see how you could mess this up or how you could go wrong. Really, but you have to really mess this up.
They can find a way in Hollywood.
I know.
They'll figure it out.
I'm just excited for it. I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to make this. I'm like, I don't know. Is it black and white? Is it silent? I don't know. I want to be thoroughly surprised, and hopefully I walk out of there like, holy crap, that was awesome. Let's do it again in another 100 years. I won't be here for it, or maybe I will in some weird AI form. Maybe I will be. I don't know. So
we'll be downloaded into the internet by then. But
it's being part of it, yeah.
Yeah, again, the list of actors, the cast has got me excited. The fresh take on something that, look, it's not like they've remade this movie 3 or 4 times. It's not like we're 10 movies into it, like Halloween or whatever, any random horror franchise. It's like they made one movie and then they never, with the exception of the one like it's with John Malkovich, the Something About Shadows, I forget what the hell it was, which is an entertaining movie. Not really a remake as much as it is just kind of a weird telling of the story of making the movie. But nobody's really touched this, but this is the one thing that has kind of flavored a little bit of vampire mythology in cinema history ever since over the last century. So, so getting this actual new telling of this story after 100 years and all the influence that it's had on cinema, it's kind of like, well, as much as people bitch about remakes and sequels and all that, and Hollywood's running out of ideas, I think it's one of the dumbest things to say. It's like this really seems like one that it's got all kinds of opportunities to work, because it's not like there's been a lot of Nosferatu movies out, unless you want to consider the different scores and stuff, different versions. I don't personally, but yeah, this one could work. This one could work very well, or it could be terrible. and I don't want to, as much as I want this movie to be very good, as highly anticipated as this movie has me, there is that one little seed in the back of my head where I'm like, I need to ready myself for what this movie could be, and this movie could be an absolute disaster. But I remain confident. I remain very optimistic about this movie. The filmmaker, Robert Eggers is a great filmmaker. He's made a lot of great movies. It's definitely got the talent in front of the camera.
Are you?
I can see this working out pretty well. The trailers look pretty good to me. The one that they came out with look pretty good. I want to see a couple of more, but like I said, I'm optimistic, but I'm not so optimistic that I'm putting my blinders on and not seeing what could be if it kind of goes way off the rails.
Are you going to be in the theaters having your fanboys moment? Guys, what if the movie sucks? Opening credit.
Hey,
sucks.
I'll say this. I am so happy that this releases on Christmas Day. So while all the weird people are out doing holly jolly Christmas bullcrap, I can be in the movie theater doing creepy shit like normal people do. So, I am thankful this is a Christmas film. So,
what? One of the things
it's about to be your favorite Christmas film, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the
we'll
things
see.
that have me a little concerned is that there's a couple of scenes in the original that are still iconic in horror to this day, a century later. The whole him, the shadow of him creeping.
The hallway shot with the
man, that's still one of the top 10 shots in any horror movie if you ask real cinephiles.
We're just cinema period.
The weird stop motion way of him stacking all those coffins up and then crawling into the one, like that shot is weird. The iconic shot of him standing in the doorway. It's like those shots. If you get them wrong, if you get them wrong, a lot of the real cinephiles, especially a lot of big horror fans like us, are going to look at that and they're going to cringe a bit, and it's going to take a little bit away from the enjoyment of the movie. But I'm confident that Eggers is going to do it right. I'm confident he's going to do it.
Yeah, I was like, this is not one to mess up, and I'm like, I hate to put that pressure on you, but like Frank was saying, like this is something.
Put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, like there's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason why this movie has stuck around for 100 years. You know what I mean? I even like I don't remember when it came out. Like she's a big fan of Futurama, right? And I've seen episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing like 20 times like she has. But like right in the first season, there's like they visit the theme park on the moon, right? And there's a guy in a costume with a big moon head. And like Bender just like throws his bottle into his eye socket, and he goes like, "Ah, this always happened to me." And I was like, "Did you not understand what that reference was? The bottle in his eye? No.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I've seen bits and pieces of Futurama. I don't even think I've seen maybe 12 whole episodes, but maybe I missed that one.
It's the it's from I think it's also from the 20s or maybe even earlier than that, where it's scary accurate actually, like this old like silent film of people going to the moon. Like they go in this ship, this rocket, and go up there, and it's a guy like it imposes on this picture of a moon with a face, and like you see the rocket just and it like lands right into his eye. It's an iconic like shot. Like you've seen it, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
And that was a quick reference to that, and I was like, did you never realize what that was? I'm like, that's something that has like ingrained into pop culture. And I'm trying to find it now. So talk amongst yourselves while I find it. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll go ahead and go back to Tex and see if there's another movie that's coming out over the course of the rest of the year, another horror film that he's looking forward to.
Well, I'm going to save my big one closer to for my grand finale, as they say, because there's one more I want to mention. Coming out on September the 13th, this is a James McAvoy-led film, Speak No Evil.
Oh, yeah.
And I have seen this trailer probably 10 times this year. Every time I go to the movies, this trailer has played, it seems like. And this is like creepy, eerie James McAvoy. Like, if you saw how creepy he was in Split, he's bringing that kind of performance. Yeah, that little kid right there with no tongue, where like, that scene in the trailer where he's doing the scissor motion across his mouth as he's silently screaming. I cannot wait to see that in person. Basic premise of the film: an American family goes to Britain or England, somewhere, I don't know where over there it is, and they visit this creepy British family, and chaos ensues. And James McAvoy, I think he's one of the more underrated actors of today. He, whenever the kind of the top guys are mentioned, you rarely hear his name, and I'm a fan of this guy. So I'm going to say go see Speak No Evil on the 13th of September. It looks like a fun one, so I'm going to check it out.
Okay, so my research, and I don't know where I pulled it out of my brain, and I got the title exactly right. This movie came out in 1902, which is insane.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, it's on HBO Max if you want to watch the whole entire 15 minutes of this movie.
So it's like half of an episode of TV.
Right? Yeah. I think it's on YouTube. I mean, it's 1902. I mean, it's out there. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, that how accurate it is. Like, we don't even actually have. Wait, do we have Flight at this point? Or was it like 1903?
When did the Wright brothers do their thing?
I know, it's really embarrassing that I'm really fucking dropping the ball right now because I'm from there.
I don't remember. I don't
I think it's
remember.
1903.
03 or 06, I forget.
I think it's 03. Because I think
I was asleep that day in history, so I don't remember.
I think the one you're thinking of was like the third Wright Flyer or something that was later. But the point is, I'm like 60 years time, then we actually do this, and it's crazy how accurate this is. Here's the Futurama episode. You can kind of like Bender walks by and he like
shut. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I said, if
I've
you see it,
seen
you'll know
that.
exactly.
I've seen that image before. Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about. Like that's the actual, from that short film.
Oh,
You've seen that movie.
I get it.
Yeah, and I'm like, they do the joke in Futurama, which is pretty damn funny.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
If you've seen it, like I said, that's an iconic image from cinema that you've seen it.
Wow,
there it is.
I didn't know it was
it's on HBO Max, but that's what I'm saying. There's a reason why some of these things stick around, and maybe we need another trip to the moon.
Yeah,
maybe
get back to
when Elon Musk exists in this timeline. Maybe don't say that.
Hopefully. But to get back to Speak No Evil, look, I'm with Tex. I love James McAvoy. I think he's pretty good in just about everything. But I'm not gonna lie, this trailer didn't do it for me. This trailer did not do it for me at all.
Really? What about it didn't do it for you?
I can't say that there was something that was in the trailer that didn't do it. It's just I don't feel like there was anything in this trailer that seemed fresh enough to where it was like there's something different about this movie that makes me need to see it. I mean, because we've seen like two people meet in the woods and they disagree in a horror setting. We've seen one family invites another family and it turns out the one family is fucking psychotic. We've seen, somebody looks really nice to begin the movie and you find out they're actually a serial killer that wants to harvest your organs and eat them for supper with fava beans and a nice Chianti. It's like there's the trailer alone did not give me.
I cannot do that sound. I'm glad somebody else did.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'm a
it's just this. But this, it's like I watched it and I was like, what's about? I'm just not blown away by it. Now maybe it was just the trailer wasn't cut in a way that got to me. I'm sure there's going to be at least one more trailer coming out because that movie comes out here soon, right?
I've seen two or three different cuts of the trailer. There's the longer version and then there's a shorter one that kind of it gets to the creepier stuff quicker. So maybe it just plays different for you. So I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna go watch it because, like I said, I'm a fan of James McAvoy. This is the kind of movie. It's less horror, less body, gross, disgusting kill horror, and more and suspense. And I'm good with those as well. But it's just for some reason the trailers didn't do it for me. I've seen the trailer a couple of times. I think both times I've seen the trailer have been at the theater, so I'm getting whatever theatrical trailer. But it's like, I
think there's a red band of it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't see the trailer and then think to myself, oh yeah, I got to put that on the list of must-sees for the next couple. But I could be wrong. Look, there have been bad trailers to good movies. There have been good trailers to terrible movies. So I'm going to give it a shot because it's fair and I want it to be good. But the trailer didn't do anything for me. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Jeremy, am I wrong? Did the trailer do it for you?
What are we talking about? I'm in a rabbit hole right now.
Speak No Evil.
He's down.
Speak No Evil with James McAvoy.
I'm still taking a trip to the moon. What?
Have you seen the trailer for Speak No Evil with James McAvoy?
Oh, the one with Professor X. Oh yeah. I've seen a few different versions of that trailer. Honestly, I think the thing that's gonna really knock it out of the park is James McAvoy because he just seems he's got that little smirk, that little smile to him where it's like he seems like a charming guy, but I'm like, man, he is about one loose wire away from just snapping completely. And I'm like, I know this guy's got it. And the actor, I know he's got this in him, like this range. So it looks kind of cool. It feels like it's one of those everything seems all right. Yeah, you go hang out with your nice Brit friends, have a cup of tea. Bottle of water, because I'll never stop making that joke because I'm American. Anyway. And then
I'll say this for James McAvoy.
It unravels and it starts to become like a nightmare, and I'm here for it.
If they ever do a full-on reboot of Halloween, and they want a new Dr. Loomis, James McAvoy. He's got the creepy factor to him. He's got the acting chops. He's got the British accent going. You can't tell me he would not be a perfect Sam Loomis.
The trench coat and
to go against a Michael Myers. That's what I'm saying. Give him the brown suit and the trench coat and a 6-shooter, buddy. And he's out there screaming, "I shot him 6 times!" Doing the whole thing. He'd be great for it. I'm down here. I'm here for it.
But let's go ahead and get into some of the movies that I know we need to talk about. I'll go to you first, Tex. And at this point, I'm just going to go down the 2 or 3 big movies that are coming out. Let's start with the one that's probably going to get the least amount of talk, but one we're definitely going to need to talk a little bit about. It's Beetlejuice 2, whatever the hell they're going to call it. It's coming out pretty soon.
3 times, don't.
Beetlejuice.
I'll go to you first, Tex. I mean, this is one of those movies that, for the longest time, I feel like they've been putting out promotional material for this movie for about the last 25 years. And it finally kind of came to pass that this movie was getting made. I honestly did not believe it for the longest time. I really didn't think this movie was ever actually going to get made. But then Michael Keaton went through a bit of a resurgence. He came out with Birdman, which was kind of like the one thing that really kicked him back off. And, of course, that amazing performance in Spotlight, which is one of my favorite movies of the last 10 or 15 years. Here we are again. Most of the original cast is coming back from the first film. I don't know, Tex, is this one that you're looking forward to, or are you kind of meh on this?
I wouldn't quite say I'm meh, but I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this. I will be going to see this. I'm not a huge fan of Beetlejuice now when it comes to Michael Keaton. It seems like you either fall in, is Batman your favorite role or Beetlejuice? I would go Beetlejuice because I think he's better in that character. But I'm kind of played out on the whole Jenna Ortega as goth girl thing. I think that's been kind of done to death so far. I mean, they've beaten that horse till it's a pile of goo, and then they cremated it and then smoked it, kind of thing. But I'm gonna go see Beetlejuice. But if it's bad, fine, whatever. I don't own any Beetlejuice merch. I'm excited for it, but it's whatever. It's another legacy sequel that will probably be okay, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's good.
Jay, how about you? Me and you are close enough in age to where Beetlejuice was a significant part of both of our youth. But I mean, and this again, one of those long gestating sequels. Probably got a kick in the ass when things like Top Gun Maverick blew up, and some of the other, Ghostbusters did. The last couple movies did pretty well, so they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go ahead and do Beetlejuice now." Since we've been basically making posters about this sequel since 1988 or whatever. Are you looking forward to it, or do you have some concerns?
Well, did we not see what I was sipping on this whole time? Come on, you're Mexican. And this shit's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, if that's him now, I mean, like, dude, he's still got the look. He's still got it. So I'm kind of excited for it. I'm curious to see where this is going because it's one of those things, like you said, probably since the late 80s, we're all like, yeah, we're going to get a sequel. And here we are now. So, yeah, and when you were saying that earlier, I knew we were going to talk about Beetlejuice, but I was like talking about people that did kind of get a resurgence as of late, one of them being Michael Keaton. So, yeah, you know what? And I can tell it's like he likes his character and he's just having the time of his fucking life doing it. So, because he likes it, and like I said, he knows that people enjoy it as well. So, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna say no to Winona Ryder. I agree with Tex. I know Jenna Ortega is like just our resident goth girl now of all time.
Stop trying to make Jenna Ortega happen. I'm gonna steal one of Frank's lines.
She already happened. Like, guys, we get it. Like,
she happened a couple of years ago. Yeah,
she already happened. Okay, we don't. For me, you're starting to get into Finn Wolfhard territory. You're gonna piss me off really fast. Like, please don't. Okay. Actually, I'm fucking surprised he's not even in this movie. It's from the 80s. Like,
can you be emo if you have that much money that she has? I don't think you're in the emo club anymore. You're not allowed to be sad when you have all of the money in the world.
So that's why I'll never be rich. Okay, anyway. Thanks, man. To be fair, I like what was that like award show? They put her and Aubrey Plaza like next to each other, and we're like, oh, yeah, it's the same person, isn't it?
Aubrey Plaza all the way. 10 out of 10 times Aubrey Plaza for me. There's no argument there.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's just kind of her mini me. If we wanted to, that was a pretty funny joke when they both start talking about some dark shit, and they're like, oh, I get it now.
Aubrey Plaza walked so Jenna Ortega could run, by God. But, who's counting, right?
Yeah, was she even alive when Parks and Rec was on the air? Probably not.
Well, maybe Jenna Ortega, the first time I saw her was in Ty West X, the first of the Maxine trilogy. That was the first time I saw her. And she didn't play a scary little goth girl. She played a normal girl, a normal girl that goes bad. So she played different in that role. So it's all good.
She's not really goth in the Scream films either. She's just a regular kid.
Yeah, just kind of
in Scream she's
you get the darkness about her because she's in a horror movie, but she's not really goth. So I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see her do something a little different. Remake Clueless and let her play the main role. Whatever. Let her do something light and funny because that'll be a different way of seeing her.
Stop trying to make Jenna Ortega happen, Frank. Stop it. Cut it out.
I'm just kidding. Don't remake Clueless. Don't remake Clueless.
Wednesday Addams is trying to be a comedic actor. The hell?
Yeah.
You go from Wednesday Addams to a blonde wig and a pink dress or something. That actually be kind of fun to see. So it'd be kind of fun.
Well, because Wednesday Addams' version of a joke is like scalping somebody for real because, thanks for that one.
What's that one scene where she has Pugsley in the guillotine? She's like, don't move.
Oh, God. Love the Addams Family.
But, another one real quick that I want to talk about before we get into the one that I'm sure is going to dominate the rest of the show is The Crow. Now, look, I've been interested. Yeah. I've been interested in what this is going to be. I've been wondering what this is going to be. Not going to lie. Today, some kind of bad news came across the wires for The Crow. Not only have they decided No. They actually, one of the things I read earlier yesterday actually is they made a conscious decision not to allow any guns on the set at all.
I was gonna say there's some bad juju.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm like I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I'm trying to find a picture of it. I know I had a picture of it.
Especially when Alec Baldwin wanted to guest star for some weird reason. They didn't know why. He wanted to do that one scene, So that was crazy.
I guess for some reason,
Brandon Lee did it before it was cool. Damn it!
But news did break either last night or today that they have not only put a review embargo in place, but they are not lifting the review embargo until after the movie comes out.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Says that they are like, we don't want people to know that this movie did not hit the way that we want it to hit until after they've already bought their tickets. So I don't know. This is one of
the way the internet works. People are going to see it.
Yeah,
they'll see it, and we'll all know what
you and I have talked about. I mean, we both like The Crow. There was something about the first film with Brandon Lee that has stood the test of time. That was just one of those perfect storms of creativity that came together and made a very interesting film. They've made 27 Crow films since then. None of them have come anywhere near the magic of the original. But I mean, there were high hopes with this one. Skarsgård involved. The first promotional stuff came out, and a lot of people were kind of not blown away by it, not overexcited. But I mean, you can't just make him look like Eric Craven from the first movie, like Brandon Lee from the first film. You have to make it a little different. They gave him his own look. A lot of people compared him to the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, which was fair. But there was still some anticipation. Jay, I mean, what do you think? Does this hurt at all, or are you still wanting to give this a fair chance?
Like I said, that to me is a big red flag. That's not good. I know what the like people still put stuff out you know, pretty much as soon as movie, like some people get to see this stuff, and as soon as the weekend it comes out, they're putting out reviews or their quick thoughts, whatever stuff like that. And I mean, like I held off on watching, like some people that I watched had like Romulus reviews, and I was like, well, I haven't even seen it yet. I held off on it. I knew I was going to go see it yesterday, so I was like, okay, I'll watch them, you know, today. But the fact that you're, you know, it lines up, but this, you not letting people talk about it until after it comes out doesn't bode well and doesn't sound like there's a lot of faith in it. So that kind of hurts, but I still want to say, like, you know what, make your own, you know, go see it for yourself, make your own conclusions, I guess. To be fair, if you like something, that's great, because I mean, not everyone's going to like it. You don't, you know, you may not like the same things I like, so I don't know. Like I said, with the way the internet works, I mean, someone's going to see it and they're going to put it out and you're going to see it the next day. So you can weigh your options in. I don't know.
I guarantee you spoilers are out there already. If you really wanted to know and dig hard enough on Twitter, you could probably find why it sucks.
Yeah, I know they say that, but I'm like, the elitists have already seen it fucking a month ago or some dumb shit, whatever they do.
Right.
We're all not in, as George Carlin used to say. We're not in the big club, so we don't get to see it already.
The bottom line is the higher ups of the production company have seen it and they're looking at it like, yeah, this is not going to work out the way we want it to. We need to go ahead.
But are they really the best to say anything about it, though?
Well, it could be like, what was that video game with Jamie Lee Fucknet that just came out?
Borderlands.
That thing's going to be on streaming before August is over. So if it tells you anything about how badly that went, I got a feeling The Crow will probably be similar. It'll be in theaters for like a week, and it'll be put on Netflix or Amazon or something. So I don't figure Crow's going to do well. So I don't know.
I saw it. It was not great, but I mean, it was definitely a movie. And that's about all I can say.
It was
there were people that did things in front of a camera.
So you're telling me it was not an infomercial for the ShamWow. It was not that. It was an actual film. Okay, good to know that.
Well, maybe the best way to because like she saw it with me and she's not played Borderlands, so she's like, having not played the game, she's like, oh, that was kind of fun. I was like, maybe it's, and I hate to say it because it seems like an obvious thing. Like if you've never played the games or you don't know anything about it, and like you might have more fun. That's unfortunately the problem. Is I'm like, I do like the games and I did play them, and I'm more disappointed.
Apparently, Dum has released his post-theater reaction to The Crow, so I'll have to go watch him. I didn't know that. There you go. Yeah. I trust his opinion. He's a smart dude. I like his takes on a lot of things. So he's one of the good horror YouTubers. I dig him.
So I'm going to continue down my rabbit hole. I'm trying to do math, and I suck at math. So,
well, while you could get down your rabbit hole, let's get to the one movie that I'm sure is going to instigate the most discussion.
Okay, let him go.
Time is just right.
You know,
yeah, I'm timing this.
My friends.
Right.
My friend, I don't know about y'all, but I've been real hungry. I've had a hankering for something that I can only get at the Clown Cafe. And unfortunately, their only location is within the Terrifier film. And we're getting a Christmas freaking Art the Clown movie. Are you kidding me? I cannot wait to see him wearing Santa Claus's face. Jesus Christ. I hope that is the most metal, disgustingly vile, just torturing scene ever. I hope it makes little kids cry and people vomit and puke in the aisle. Like, oh my God.
This movie is going to be
Art the Clown. We have been blessed with the horror icon of Art the Clown himself, my friend. Art the Clown is tremendous here, people. You know, I know this is a big conversation. Some people don't put Art up there with Michael and Jason, but you know what? Spirit Halloween does, and so do I. I cannot wait for this movie. I want to see more of the Pale Girl. I want to see more of Sienna. Because if you watch Terrifier 2 and listen to the commentary track from Damien Leone, which I did about 3 times, you learn that as she arose and came back to life, she is now on the same level, the same playing field as Art, as power goes. So it's not just going to be scary, scream run, final girl typical thing. We're going to have a battle here, and he's promised to get deeper into the lore. I want to see how this ties back to All Hallows Eve, the Night Circle. Who is the pale girl? Who is Art? I mean, I've seen 1,000 different theories. Some I subscribe to, and some I don't. But I love Art the Clown. I love Terrifier. I am so happy that within my lifetime, I got to see a horror icon come to fruition, completely new and original, like Michael in 78, Jason in 81, whatever it was. I got one in my lifetime. I can't wait to see what Damien Leone does with this, and I am so excited. I could do 5 hours just on Terrifier lore and bore y'all all to death, and you would hate me by the end of it. But, I will spare y'all.
I have a feeling for that review, I'm just going to put Texas camera up and be like, go.
just turn it on.
Chime in here and there with thoughts, but for the most part, Texas is going to take it away.
Just go, turn me on, go make a sandwich, you can take a nap. Probably wake up tomorrow, I'll still be talking about it. But, dude, I can't wait for this movie. I am jacked to the tits. I can't wait. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we did our reviews of the first two Terrifiers. I thought the first was really one-dimensional. The kills were fantastic and fun and great gore, but the movie didn't really have another dimension to work with. Second movie was much better storytelling. It was a much more complete film. I liked the fact there was more character in it, because that's the one thing that all great horror movies have, is they have that character that is the dichotomy of the killer. It's like, Heather versus Freddy, and there was
Nancy and Freddy.
There was 2 or 3 of them against Jason, but it's like, as much as Tex hates to say it, there's Jamie Lee Curtis versus Michael.
No.
Versus Michael. There is that opposite.
No.
But she's there. Yeah, she's in the movie. You have to admit that at least. But the first movie was missing that. It was just a one-dimensional film. Sienna, I think, is a really good foil to act against Art the Clown. I really liked the way that he built her character up in the first movie. That was a much better film. I want to see continued growth in this film. I want to see deeper storytelling. I like the fact that he says that he's going to go more to the lore, that he's actually going to give us maybe a little bit of backstory. How does it connect to the other films that aren't Terrifier films that still had Art the Clown in it? Give me that depth. Help me understand where this evil comes from. Because sometimes I want to know where the evil comes from. Sometimes not knowing is cool because it makes it a little scarier. But sometimes I want that background. I want to understand why the guy is killing, so that way I can be like, damn, that's fucked up. You can either understand it or not understand it and still be afraid by it. So that's kind of what I want. That's what I really want out of this movie. Is I want to see Leone's growth as a storyteller. And if he has significant growth as a storyteller in this movie, then I will be very, very, very pleased when I walk out of the theater. I have a feeling. But I stand to one thing that I said after the second movie. I want Leone to step away from Terrifier and do something else. Because if he just gets himself trapped in this one franchise, one character, it's going to get really, really stale, really, really fast. And I don't want that to happen to this, because I've seen some really good growth between the first movie and the second movie. But I've heard about the third movie. I'm very optimistic about. I want to see him grow as a filmmaker, and I don't think that's going to happen if all he does is Terrifier movies with Art the Clown. I need to see him do something else. So hopefully that's what we're going to get. I don't know, Jeremy, you've seen both the first 2 Terrifier movies. Pull your head out of that rabbit hole for just a second and give me your thoughts. What do you think we're going to be getting from Terrifier 3?
That's the thing, is like we said with 1 and 2, they're different from each other in a good way. I didn't expect the scope of 2 to really go where it did, but I'm glad it did. So, and if all you're feeding me is that this dude apparently Texas chainsawed Santa Claus's face, I'm like, I don't think Charlie Day could give me a map and string fucking big enough for me to try to connect those fucking dots. I don't know. Okay, sure. It's
Art the Clown could be a Sawyer and or a Hewitt and fit in perfectly. Like he fits.
Yeah. So, like we said, like hopefully we lean more into some lore, because 2, like I said, really did expand it and give us more kind of to it. Because I mean, 1 was just, I want to say like it's the concept of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, he definitely got shot in the back of the dome, and then somehow
he got better. It's fine. He got
well,
better.
yeah, somehow he
He shook it off. He shook it off.
yeah, he did a what the fuck's his name? It's not like we didn't do this for a whole fucking month. He watched the Saw movies and he was like, hey, that's a cool idea. Get unzip, whoop, and kill somebody, you know, in a fucking morgue.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I kept wanting to say Straw. I'm like, it's not him, it's the other agent. Damn it.
No, it's Hoffman. Yeah.
He's obviously a fan of Hoffman, so
right. Yeah.
I was just like, okay, but are you going to explain how he got shot in the back of the head and then just didn't die? That's now we're getting, see, because it seemed like a pretty straight film, and then you got otherworldly for a minute. I was like, okay, whoa, you don't pull that. Okay, Shyamalan, don't pull that out at the last second and then just be like, yeah, well, have fun. I'll see you next time. Maybe. Like,
well,
what? So I don't know what this whole Christmas angle is, but I mean, I don't know if we're, I don't know. If this is like some really fucked up version
I think
of
he's doing
Christmas, but with Art the Clown, I mean, so be it, I guess.
I think he's doing Art the Clown at Christmas because why not? I mean, we've got 2 Art the Clowns at Halloween already, you know, a year apart or whatever. But we've got 2. Dude, could you imagine a Art the Clown Terrifier film for every holiday? An Easter Terrifier film like Terrifier 5, He Has Risen. I would make that movie right now. Like, that would be tremendous. Are you kidding?
Somebody register that domain right now.
They
Damien Leone,
they put a crown of thorns on, and they crucify him, put him in a cage, and he comes back 3 days later.
I will make you a Easter Terrifier film that will be vomit-inducing, heart attack causing, and probably get you banned from cinema. But it will be tremendous. Hire me, Damien Leone. I'm begging you.
A Serbian film?
Please.
That's cute, right?
Oh, yeah. Serbian film going to look like Sesame Street by the time I get done. So I got news for you.
You know, we did get that tweet that came out. That ended up in our chat room on Twitter, where he said the first 10 minutes of this movie is going to be the most insane movie he's done in Terrifier yet.
And I'm
like, that's how you're going to start the movie? Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Keep that. Like I just said, don't blow your whole wad in the beginning of the movie and then just kind of plateau out, because I'm like, you hit a bar here, and then your movie just kind of is like, eh.
AJ wants to know where you got the Art the Clown doll from.
The Art the Clown came from Spencer's. Now the pin and the badge I added myself, but the actual stuffed art came from Spencer's. So is where you can find him at. There's that one, and then there's one where he's not holding the saw, but I wanted the one with the saw, so it was a gift.
BJ's asking the question that's been on all of our minds for a while now. I just want to know what happened in Texas early last year.
What movie was it?
If I knew, I'd tell you, but you know what? Hey, I don't know. Your guess is good as mine on that, BJ. You know, I will accept your answer if you come up with it.
I'm not as bad, but like, Cujo when I was
dude,
like 10, that was a
there
good idea.
There are some areas of the country where that area is synonymous with a thing, and whether you are directly involved with that thing or even care about that thing, you are always going to be kind of attached to it. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tex obviously being from Texas. That there's this weird thing that will always attach anybody from Texas to Leatherface or to that.
That was what. So, dude, whenever we were kids, like on the playground, we talk about like when we would watch Texas Chainsaw, we thought it was real. Like at that stage in life, like it like Jeremy knows what I'm talking about. When you watch, it feels like this is like police footage or something here. And like we would talk, oh yeah, over in blah 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 is where where it actually happened, or the real Leatherface is in Huntsville right now in prison. Like it's a it's part of the identity of the state. I mean, you can't get away from it. I mean, it's the greatest horror film ever made. You know, there's no
It's
argument.
funny that I don't talk about Nightmare on Elm Street more often because that was actually in Ohio.
Yeah, that's like right there. Now, I think the Ohio connection isn't as synonymous with Freddy, considering it isn't until like part 6 that it's discovered that it's actually Ohio. It's like very late into the franchise.
It's a fake. It's also a fake town. It's just called Springwood. I'm like,
right.
Yeah, that's a mix of like Springfield and any other something wood town.
But every town has an Elm Street, buddy.
But that's the point. Like, why is it Springfield in The Simpsons? Because every goddamn state has a Springfield, I'm sure. So that's
well, and it's like, okay, like Haddonfield is yes Illinois, but realistically that could be small town anywhere for Halloween. Texas Chainsaw it's literally in the name of the movie, so that's why it's so synonymous with it. It's just on another level.
Isn't Friday the 13th? Isn't the camp like in New Jersey or some shit? I think
Friday the 13th all of them except for the 2009 happened in New Jersey, but the 2009 was actually filmed outside of Austin, Texas. That's why it looks like the way that.
And that awkward time he went to New York and to space. That's the only 2 times I think he left Jersey.
Yeah, he went to New York for like 3 minutes. He was there for like 3 minutes.
There's actually a Crystal Lake not too far from us, Jay.
I know.
Really?
I know. Because I used to drive back and I would see the sign on the side of the road that says for Crystal Lake, and I'm like, no, going the other way. No thanks.
Yeah, it's like the way New
Some weird fucker on a bike going like you're old.
Since y'all aren't balls deep into the Terrifier fan lore as I am, what do y'all think about his status of, like, obviously y'all know I put him in the presence of Michael and Jason and Leatherface. Is he there for y'all, or is he like working his way up? Like, where does he rank there for y'all?
To take somebody else from Ohio, I haven't seen him in a Merkins video yet, so I remain unconvinced.
That is true. That's the point.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. Honestly, well, he doesn't talk. Well, neither does Jason.
They probably will. Just say Michael doesn't talk, but he sings like Justin Timberlake with the Merkins. So
Well, and Leatherface is a country singer somehow.
Oh, Leatherface is my favorite country singer. I mean, have you heard One Last Meal? That sounds tremendous.
No, I've heard all of them. I'm like, I'm not even a country music fan, but I'm a country music fan for Leatherface from the Merkins. I'm telling you what.
Hell yeah.
I will say the thing is, like, I'm like, but he wouldn't be on the special edition Spear Halloween shirt for this year if he wasn't important. So I'm like, I think he's getting there. Obviously, he's
you got to remember, there's a recency bias in that, though, in that advertising, because he's popular right now. So because he's so popular right now, coming to get you, Jay. Because he's so popular right now, that's a big selling point. Now, if there was a Nightmare on Elm Street movie getting ready to come out here in the next couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure Freddy would also be front and center. There we go. I'm sure Freddy would also be front and center. There was a Nightmare on Elm Street movie getting ready to come out. Same thing with all the other guys. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's quite there yet. I mean, yeah, remember, we've joked a couple of times and discussed the Mount Rushmore of horror killers, and I mean, there's 4 up there now. There's 5 that all have legitimate arguments. Does Art the Clown really warrant knocking any one of those guys off Mount Rushmore and taking their place? To me, not yet. Well, I mean, because it's not just longevity necessarily. There's a certain creativity that we've gotten out of the characters like Jason and Michael and Freddy and Leatherface and maybe one other over the years that I haven't quite gotten it yet from Damien Leone with the character. I'm not saying that we won't. Not saying that this movie won't change my mind, but he's the new kid on the block. It's like you can't just go in the Hall of Fame because you hit 1 home run your first at bat. You know what I mean? So he's got to show me
I'm not saying
20 years that he can always be an icon, and he can. He's got all the makings, but he's not there yet.
Damn.
But see, that's the thing.
Big fire.
How many thousands of low budget exploitation B-movie killer clown movies get made and get thrown on Tubi that never go anywhere? But Art the Clown comes from the Night Circle, he's such a hit that the director of All Hallows Eve wants to give him an entire segment, and then we get the Terrifier short films, and then Terrifier 1 through 3. Not only have we got the films, but to what Jeremy was saying, Art the Clown has permeated pop culture. You hear people outside of horror fans talking about Terrifier. Now, they may not know the name Art the Clown, but they know the name Terrifier because such a big deal gets made out of how gross it is or how scary or whatever it is. And to your argument, Frank, about, oh, well, if Freddy Krueger was getting made, he'd be on the Spirit poster. Well, is there not a Beetlejuice movie coming out at this very same time? Spirit Halloween didn't put Beetlejuice on the cover. That's Michael Keaton. They did Art the Clown. So I think maybe there's an argument to be made on that. So I don't know.
But I still think there's some recency bias, though, because while there's a Beetlejuice movie coming out, the character of Beetlejuice has not been in the zeitgeist at this level for what, 30 years, 25 years,
right? But so you're telling me Michael Keaton's star power behind a Tim Burton Beetlejuice is not enough to overtake little old Art the Clown, though?
It's not. That's
Michael big shoes.
It's not my
right, but
character.
Still.
Because if that's the case, they're certainly putting Michael Keaton on there in front of what's the name of the guy that plays Terrifier? I forget. Michael
David Howard Gordon.
Bigger star. Yeah, David Howard Gordon. So while David Howard Gordon has been good in stuff that I've seen him in, he is not Michael Keaton's level. Michael Keaton's an Oscar level actor.
No, that's what I'm saying.
His career is really just starting. So if it's all about the actor, Michael Keaton's going on there. But the character is more famous right now, so he's going to be part of the marketing. And it's not like they're not going to have any Beetlejuice stuff at the Spirit Halloween store this year. It's not
they do.
As
they have a
Terrifier, probably, but yeah, I mean, he's the big thing in pop. He's the bigger pop culture thing right now. So yes, there's a marketing thing aspect to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I always measure this by, are not just the fans of the series talking about it, but has it gotten into the zeitgeist of other things? Are they talking about it on the late night shows? Just random people talking about it on the radio. You hear people talk about Terrifier. That's why I think it has a sense. Now, it's not like years long wise on the same level as Michael and Jason, but iconic status, he's like right there and there. You know what I'm saying? That's all that I'm throwing out there. So I don't know.
Well, AJ's agreeing with you. He said Art the Clown is up there with Jason, Freddy, Michael, Leatherface, Pinhead, Chucky, and Ghostface. I mean, I don't know that
I think I would lower. I would knock down Ghostface, Chucky, and Pinhead to the next level. But other than that,
you know what I think they should do for them.
What's that, Jeremy?
But I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? I haven't seen them in the Merkins yet. I think Art the Clown needs to be like a fucking metalhead or something, like something just extreme.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's where he needs to. That's where he needs to be.
Well, see, the problem with the Merkins is they can't do parodies of other people's music anymore because they kept getting sued. That's why they had to start doing original music. So, what kind of song would you do with Art the Clown?
I don't know. People don't know how to have fun anymore. That's the problem. YouTube used to be a fun place, damn it.
Right. Yeah.
It's still fun.
And here we are.
It's a lot better now that Elon bought it.
Well, what hasn't he bought? So,
look, I remain very optimistic about Terrifier 3. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a good movie. Like I said, there are things that I really want to see.
Well,
most certainly, I want to see a growth in as a storyteller and as a creator from Damien Leone. That's what I really want to see. And CNN subscription.
I just want it to be really. Here's my main worry. If you want a possible negative for me in this movie, I don't want Art to be seeing his dad that he went crazy and drove into the light pole or whatever in Terrifier 2 and blew himself up and then was reborn. I do not want Art to be seeing his dad. Do not want that.
I don't want to see that either.
That would be lame. That would be stupid. If you're going to give him a backstory, there's keep enough mystery that the theories can happen. Like, why does Michael do what he does? We get explanations, but we really don't. So I hope he keeps it loose enough that fan theory still can exist. Unlike with Jason, where it's he saw his mom get killed and he wasn't really dead and blah blah blah. To me, Jason has a very boring, lame backstory. Art's is obviously supernatural. He has demon powers. Each time we see him, his look gets a little more demonic. If you'll notice over time, I think there's something to that. By the way, so I hope. I'm not even sure that there's more than one Art the Clown. I can make a very convincing case that there's at least two that we've seen over these films, but we'll see if that comes true. But I don't know. I just hope the theories are cool.
Wouldn't that kind of be a bit of a bummer, though? I mean, because while on the surface it is kind of silly that he gets the bullet to the head and then he just so happens to wake up in the next movie from that little boo-boo and starts killing again, isn't that really just the kind of trope that we've gotten used to seeing in horror movies, and we just kind of accept that it's going to happen now and we don't really need it explained a different way?
Well, I mainly get this from, like, if you've seen All Hallows Eve, there's some of the way, and the problem that I have with this theory is this could just be because Damon Leone didn't have the money to shoot it and he had to do it a way that they could afford it. But you could explain it lore-wise how he acts. Sometimes he has to drive places to get where. Other times he just appears. Sometimes his looks are a little bit different than before. And obviously there was a different actor playing Art before David Howard Thornton. So I don't know. Like I said, looks-wise, I could see where there's two, but I think there's just one, but I'm not sure. I could go either way. Like I said, I love this franchise. I'm so excited to be living the lore and not just looking back on all of it like Michael and Jason and everybody else. I'm happy to be taking this ride with it. That's why I've latched on to it as I have. So I'm here for it. I love it.
See, I'm so old. I remember the birth of Freddy Krueger. I remember hearing people talk about.
I didn't get to do that.
Kills you in your dreams.
I wasn't born till '87. By the time I came around, the slashers were starting to die off. So I had to go back and watch. So it's all good.
Yeah, I am. I am 2 or 3 years younger than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They got 74, right?
74.
Yeah, 74.
74. Yeah, so I am 2 years younger than the original Chainsaw Massacre. That's how old I am. That movie is old as shit.
Yeah.
So. At least it looks old as shit.
We need to review Chainsaw. We need to do that at some point. Jesus Christ, I love that movie.
We will. Jeremy, was it me and you that reviewed it 3-4 years ago at this point? I mean, it's probably time that. Yeah, it's probably time that
we can. Anyway, I mean, we can re-review this, and Jamie and I can go for 6 hours just on one film. We won't shut up. It'll be great. So it'll be a nerd fest.
We can talk about our favorite one, The New Generation.
Oh! I can't wait for the nerd argument about which Leatherface is superior. Are you a Sawyer or a Hewitt? Do your thing, cuz all of the highlights of the Texas Chainsaw franchise.
Look, Alexander Daddario is not hard to look at, but that was hard to listen to. I didn't.
Even if she was my cousin, I'd still do it. I'd just close my eyes, just do it. It's worth it. Worth it. So I don't care.
Oh goodness. Boy. A heart attack has not slowed him down one bit.
No.
Hey, don't sit here with a straight face and tell me if she was even related, you wouldn't think about it for a minute. Just saying. But at least I'm honest about it here. So,
she had a lot of faith in that shirt, man.
That might work for you folks down in Texas, but
you don't know what to do down there, okay?
As long as it's third,
that, right?
As long as it's third cousin, you're fine. I mean, you're good once you get to third. Once you get to third, you can go home and use a baseball reference. So you're fine.
Yeah,
so,
the genetics still don't math on that one for me, but whatever.
The genetics don't math on me for that movie. Period. You're telling me that motherfucker is like 40 years old? Like, no, she's like 20 something. Don't lie to me.
Yes, she should be a 45-year-old woman with crow's feet and a Marlboro in her mouth.
And she's 20 something in that movie. Like, no, she's not 40 something.
God,
on my face.
Might be the hottest woman ever on screen, Alexandra Daddario. Jesus Christ.
I'm like, if she's supposed to be 40, I mean, sure.
Just go watch. I'm going to have to go rewatch the first season of True Detective now just for that one scene with Woody Harrelson. That lucky mofo. I swear to God. Purposes? Yeah, for research purposes, of course, yes. Mm-hmm. For the show, yes. Yeah, of course.
He's doing it for the lore. This is what he's really doing.
Yeah, totally what it is. But that seems like a good place to start wrapping things up. I've got an early morning ahead of me tomorrow, but yeah, we're excited for a lot of what we've gotten so far. We're excited for what's coming. There's a lot of great opportunities for great horror films still to come. We are in that time of year now. Once you get past the 4th of July, it goes from red, white, and blue to orange and black.
Red, white, and dead.
Quick. Blood and guts.
Red, white, and dead. So that's how it goes these days. And I for one, like I said, the horror genre has gone through a real big resurgence the last 8 or 10 years, and I'm glad to see it. There's been much better creative stuff coming out of the horror genre. And I'm not all of it's been good, but I mean, there's been some more young, fresh eyes getting creative about horror movies. They've dipped back into the well of what was and pulled out the things that had made horror movies great, and they're giving them new, fresh takes, which is never really a bad thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some of the stuff that's coming out of the horror pipeline over the course of the rest of 2024.
There we go.
But I want to thank my amazing co-hosts for coming in here with all of their expert knowledge, starting with the actual devil, my head of life mate Jeremy. What do you got going on, my friend?
Right.
Well, yeah, spooky season. So my weekends are going to be pretty full. So that's always good.
I should have pulled up the video so I could show it on here.
Oh man!
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if there was some way to, it's
just like without killing your computer. Can you do that?
I'm gonna see if I can work on it real quick. He sent it to me I know he sent it on Facebook. He sent the Facebook video.
It's on their Facebook page for sure. I just don't know if we'd be able to share it. So yeah, there's a lot of it's creeping up on me, and I'm like, I still got some stuff to do, and maybe in like 3 years' time, I'll actually have this house unpacked and have my stuff out. But I mean, I dug through and I found my vest. I found most of the stuff I need. I just need to make it. I have to drag myself to go to another, makeup store and get some stuff. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun time. I don't do things really, so I guess if you want to know, there was a new season of Fortnite. Whoopie-doo, it's all superheroes, so guns are pointless. But single player, I've been playing this game because I kind of left it to die, and I was like, well, you know what? Let's play Assassin's Creed again. This one's actually pretty fun. With the new one coming out, kind of got excited about it again. So that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, it's being a dick. Not let me pull it up, so I'll make sure I get to it the next time. But and to the shape, the Lone Star State, the Dallas-Fort Worth area president of the Jamie Lee Curtis fan club. My man Tex. What do you got going on, my friend?
Why are you slandering? I quit. This is my last. No, I quit. Hey,
no.
I ain't no goddamn.
I'm gonna make you a T-shirt, man. I'll make you a jacket.
The best thing that Jamie Lee Curtis ever did was in Halloween Resurrection, where she throws herself off of the roof. Says goodbye, Michael. That's the only good thing she's ever done on screen. No,
it shouldn't have even been to be fair.
No, I'm glad that they did that movie just so I could see her die over and over again on YouTube with us, Frank. I'll talk till he comes back.
Well, sure.
But yeah, it's like I said, big weekend in the slasher, spooky horror films this week. We've got Stream and we've got Strange Darling. I'm going to try to see both. Looking forward to them. Like Jeremy said, we're in the spooky season, and I did finish my 31 for 31 list. I'll be sending it to Frank to. I'll post it in the group tonight so you can, everybody can give it a once over and thoughts and whatever. If you want to watch along, great. If you want to do your own, I always recommend it. Pick 31 of your favorite horror films. I do a theme. My theme is films that take place on Halloween or released in October. That's my rule for this year. So if you want to do a 31 for 31, that's pick 31 of your favorite films. It's up to you. But it doesn't mean you have to watch all of them. Life happens, and we all have kids, jobs, lives, whatever. So do what you need to do. So it'll be fun.
I'm trying to. If we can just keep bullshitting here, I'm trying to figure out.
I might as well, yeah.
If everyone's curious what I've been doing for the past probably like half hour, the A Trip to the Moon film from 1902. It's probably not like accurate. They probably just capped it at, because I can't imagine this movie was made for exactly this price. But it says 10,000 francs, which I know is actually really not a lot.
That's German money, right?
No, that's French.
Okay.
I think a Deutschmark is German.
Oh, Deutschmark. Yeah. You're right.
Deutschmark's German. The problem is the little like denomination where like USD is United States dollar, shit like that. I think the denomination of it says like this was used from like 1960 to like 2002 in France. I'm like, this was made in 1902. So what the hell is this currency? Because it's going into, you see where I was going. It said like, oh, it's worth this much, this many ounces in gold, which is worth this many British pounds. I'm like, are we still in 1902?
So you're like doing like some hard ass math just to figure this shit out.
I was doing some conversion. I think it just assumes that it was 10,000. I'm trying to figure out how much money that was. This says 10,000 French francs in 1902 is worth 2,903 grams of gold, which would be worth 106,000 pounds today.
Okay, so what's that in dollars?
So in dollars, right now, I think currently what it's saying is 10,000. I think it's saying 10,000 right now is like it's $1,500 basically.
Holy crap!
It's not. It's not
crazy.
a lot. But I'm saying in 1902.
No, it's not.
Like, that's.
I can't say that I've seen that image, but I can't ever say I've seen where it came from. Like I don't think I have.
It's. I mean, like, it's a 14-minute movie. I mean, it's obviously they leave in this ship and they just right into its face. It's.
No.
It's kind of a mind-blowing concept when you think about it. Oh, good
I'm only assuming that the guy that I was bitching about earlier on True Social works for StreamYards, and he was just like, "Yeah, well, fuck you, buddy."
he pulled your plug.
He was like,
"Yep, you're done for the night." Maybe you should sort of apologize and making fun of yourself now. So
fuck that guy with the stupid ass. Anyway. I only apologize if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Anyway, I think what I landed on was about 300,000.
Frank's gonna get canceled off the internet, so this will be our last show, guys. Sorry, but
I grew
Jeremy and I'll have to continue on next week. So
I grew up so I can handle it. But you will find us back here on Tuesday reviewing. I don't know. What is The Crow? Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe.
Hey, we could always review Stream. Maybe we can talk about all these horror legends on Tuesday.
I will most certainly have. I'm hoping Saturday night or maybe sometime Sunday I will be able to go see at least one movie. And if The Crow does suck as bad as I'm afraid it does, I will have a backup plan in place. Maybe I will try to prepare both The Crow and Alien Romulus so we can at least do one of them. But we got to do Alien Romulus. That one's good. I have a feeling that's where it's going. I've already got a few things together for that. I just haven't had a chance to put that stream together all the way yet. And the way it's looking right now for The Crow, I don't know. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe this movie's awesome. I haven't seen any official takes on it yet, but we'll see.
The minute I saw the face tattoos and the SoundCloud rapper haircut, I was like, "Yep, I'm out. I'm done. I'm good."
I don't know. Maybe the movie's going to be good. Maybe. I mean, I'll give it a shot. And if it sucks, then it sucks. It's not my fault. All I did was pay $10 or $12 to see it. Anyway, but we will be back on Tuesday to break down one of these movies. We'll figure it out. And then, of course, course, some of the movies that we've discussed here are still coming up over the course of 2028. We'll be breaking down several of those as well. Most certainly Terrifier 3 is on the list of movies that we're going to be talking about. Beetlejuice obviously is coming up here. Beetlejuice is coming up just in a week or so.
Beetlejuice,
so
where is he?
To go into.
That was 3 times. Where is he? He's around here somewhere back there.
Are they going to name? Are they going to make a third and just call it Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice? Is that what they're going to do? I mean, because it seems like it's an easy way out.
Even if number 2 sucks, they have to make a third one just to use that title. Like, there's no way you don't do that.
If this movie sucks, they'll probably do it like CGI and computer animated, like they ended up doing with all the Final Fantasy movies. We'll just have them come in and voice it.
Right.
Yeah, we will be back on Tuesday to give you a review of one of these new movies. Hope maybe The Crow, probably Alien Monsters, but we will see when we get there. Thanks to my amazing co-hosts for being awesome, as always, my horror experts for giving all their insight into the horror genre. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, adios.
I can't wait.
Tex, you just have your heart just has to hold. Your heart just has to hold up for what? Another. When does Terrifier come out? Christmas. So you just got to hold
October 11th. No,
your heart just has to hold out the end of the year.
I have contacted my boss from the underworld. He said my mission's not done yet, so I'm not dying anytime soon. We're fine. So
I'll allow it.
So. There you go. Jeremy is my.
If you're coming down here,
Jeremy's like my.
Let you have it.
On-earth consultant for for the regime that I represent.